It's pre-match preview time. It's Joe Edwards. It's Nathan Judah. We're going to be talking a bit of Nuno Espirito Santo, who's been in for his little chat, his little chinwag, his little Zoom call ahead of the big game against Arsenal. Joe, I mean, at the start of the season, I think the national media, if they were talking about one side potentially going for Champions League football this season, would have been Arsenal. But no. It's little old Wolverhampton. You're not going to be able to balance the league and the Europa League at the same time. It's not going to happen. You'll be battling against relegation. No. They're eyeing third place. Forget fourth, forget fifth, forget sixth. Third is on. Leicester are sinking like a ship. But if they're going to do that, Joe, they're going to have to win games like this against the so-called big boys, even though they're little boys because they're behind walls. But you know what I'm saying. And Nuno's pretty confident. I think he's got a steely determination about him today.
Yeah, very focused, it seems. And I think that is because they've had a full week on the training pitch, which is a bit of a rarity, for Wolves over the past year, and certainly a rarity since this restart. They're one of the few teams that have had a full week to go over things. So I think they'll be very focused and very determined to keep up this hot streak against Arsenal. Of course, 3 from 3. Why not make it 4 from 4? It's going to be the toughest test, let's be honest, since the restart. Arsenal aren't what they once were, but they are better than the sides that Wolves have already faced since the league got back going. So it will be a tougher game. Nuno was quite complimentary of Arsenal, saying that you can see what Arteta's trying to do, that his philosophy is starting to come across, and that that they've got immense quality, and Wolves will have to be at their best to win. But fingers crossed, Wolves will be at their best, and because if they are a better team than Arsenal. Yeah,
and he's kind of keeps on saying about building from the back and this clean sheet record that Wolves have got, which is fantastic under him. And if you don't concede, you're going to give yourself a great chance to win the game. That's kind of what he wants to do on Saturday. You think we'll probably see a similar setup? I mean, you're not going to change a winning formula, but maybe just a bit of a cagey opening, settle down, and then second half. That's when the fireworks normally happen. I guess that's what it's going to do because Aubameyang, Pepe, Nketiah, whichever front line he goes with, they're going to have plenty of talent. So you ease that into it, you get the defence ready to go, you understand what Arsenal are trying to do, and then hit them on the counter and hit them back into the second half, especially when they've had a midweek game as well against Norwich.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite tight, as these games have tended to be ever since the restart. I know we've mentioned it a few times, but without the fan factor, it just does make for tighter games, and I don't think this will be any different. It's just interesting to see whether Wolves go 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. Personally think they'll go 3-4-3 because that's what Arsenal tend to do. Wolves aren't exactly dictated by the opposition, but they like to kind of match them up if they can. I mean, Villa went for that midfield diamond last weekend, so then we saw Leander Dendoncker come in to kind of add that extra solidity in midfield. Wolves, if they don't need to have that extra man in midfield, they don't tend to go with it. Arsenal tend to play 3-4-3 as well, so I don't see any reason why not. Wolves can go for that as well and unleash Adama Traore from the off. But, as we've seen, having Traore as a substitute has worked as well. So we'll find out when the teams come out about 4 o'clock tomorrow. But Wolves have got options, and whichever way they go, you're back to give Arsenal a real good run for the money.
Yeah, you do. I guess the other situation you've touched on, the Dendoncker and Traore scenario, is Jota, who hasn't been in the best of stride to start the proceedings off after the break, but at the same time he has got that killer instinct about him. Do you feel that he wants his best players playing, and that Jota will be, and he'll go for him again, or do you think someone like Pedro Neto could come into consideration?
I think Jota will play. I think he's one of those players that even when he is in a rut, he can just kind of turn on the style in an instant. He can just kind of score a goal out of nowhere, and that is the kind of player he is. And when you're facing teams like Arsenal, again, they're not what they were, but they are a decent outfit. And when you're facing teams like that, that's where you need your game winners, your match winners who can kind of make something out of nothing. And Jota is certainly one of those players. He hasn't been in the best form since the restart, but Jota, even when he's at 70, 65%, whatever, he can still be a match winner for you. So I'd be very surprised if he's left out the starting 11.
150 games in charge for Nuno going into this Arsenal game. He's done all right, hasn't he? Done all right. Just about keep his head above water. Yeah, two or three ahead of him in the sack race, but I think he'll be the next to go.
Yeah,
it's been amazing, hasn't it? It's been amazing.
He's been phenomenal. I mean, you don't need us to tell you that. Everybody knows how he's revolutionised the club, revolutionised the city. He's just completely turned Wolves, on its head and sent them sky high. And long may it continue. 150 games, a great milestone in this day and age. It's not. You talk about kind of loyalty dying down and all that kind of stuff, but it's actually having managers successful enough to stay that long. I mean, 3 years doesn't seem like a lifetime, but in this day and age, it's quite an achievement. So, I mean, if Nuno wants to carry on and 300 and 400 and 500, we'd all be very happy for him to do that. Of course, his future's still to be sorted, still kind of relaxed about the whole situation. His focus, of course, naturally, is on Arsenal. It's the next game. It's the only thing on his mind.
Prediction, please. Joe Edwards, it is Wolverhampton Wanderers, it is Arsenal.
I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to know whether it's going to be goalless or with goals. But
that's the only thing that can happen if it's a draw. It's either going to be goalless or with goals.
Well, yeah, but I don't know
it's like a bully prediction.
It's going to be. I just think both teams are perhaps due a draw. Neither have drawn since the restart, so that would keep Wolves' record going.
You're the kid in exams who you multiple choice. You're like, I don't know. We haven't had C for a while. Go for C. I'm bringing C.
That's it. I certainly think Wolves have got the quality to win this game, but Arsenal do seem to have just booked up their ideas a little bit at the back after those first couple of games. I think they will be quite difficult to break down. It could be a 1-0, but I'm thinking, perhaps a 0-0 to be honest.
2-1 for me. Raul and Jota, 2 assists for Adama Traore. Happy days. Wolves right the way. Maybe finish the day in 4th. How's that?
I'll take that happily. I'll take that.
We'll take it, baby. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm on you. 5:15, 5:30 kick-off?
5:30.
5:30 kick-off. Yeah. So we'll be there from about 4ish anyway. Me and Joe. For all the build-up on this one, make sure you log on to expressthestar.com.